joined now by Michael Turk. First question will be Ryan Aber.
Hey, Michael, good to meet you. Good talking to you. When you were going through your options of where to transfer to, why did you wind up picking OU? And was, when you look at how much punters have been used here the last few years, was that a deterrent or a positive to you? And have you been a little bit surprised maybe at how much you've had to punt through the first few weeks?
Yeah, so when I talked to other schools, thankfully there's some good opportunities that arose. I thanks God for that because it was pretty late in the transfer process. But once I had an opportunity from OU and got to talk to Coach Riley, to be honest, there was no deterrent. I was like, why would I not want to join an elite program? And the coaches were super nice, and I didn't even have to visit. I knew all about OU. And my brother played at Notre Dame, and it's funny because he played at a lot of different stadiums and stuff, and he said that the most fun game he had was playing at OU. It was like super loud. So it was a no-brainer once I talked to Coach Riley just because how nice he was. And Lord willing, I want to be in a team that, we're in contention for the national championship. So.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Michael, good to meet you. The special teams guys at OU, Casey and Spence and Gabe and Reeves have been together for a while. So I was wondering, and they seem to all be pretty close. So what was it kind of like getting ingrained in that group? And then also, is that the way it is at every Division I school where the special teams guys sort of all gravitate to each other?
Yeah, I would say, specialists, they tend to get along well. It's kind of rare for there to be too much, beef or whatever. But like they have been as nice as you possibly can get. I'm super close with all of them, and they kind of just took me in, and I fit right in. So I was super thankful for that. And those guys. I'm also glad because I know sometimes the specialist culture could be, mess around or whatever. That's at some schools, but that's not like here. It's not like that at all. We work hard, and of course, there's times where we can just have fun, and when in between meetings or whatever. But we like to get after it, and they've been super cool.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
Yep.
Bob Brisbilla.
Yeah, Michael, the YouTube page and the things like that, just where did that all begin for you, and how much fun is it for you to kind of give people a behind-the-scenes look?
Yeah, it's fun. That just started when I was at ASU. I like to also do like live stream Bible studies and stuff like that. And so that was kind of at first why I started it. And then I figured why not try to influence kids who also play football and just be, try to show them good things and good values and just like fun, wholesome entertainment, I guess. And of course I never go too far showing stuff, but that's just kind of how it originated. And I like photography and stuff like that too. I have like a nice camera that I mess around with. So that's how it started originally. Like I said, like doing the live stream Bible study. And then I thought, why not just show, just it's kind of unique being a college player and show them like my workouts and stuff like that and different training stuff that I do as a punter. So that's kind of how it started, and thankfully it's been fun. Obviously I have to focus on what I have to focus on first, but.
Eric Bailey.
Mike, it's nice to meet you, man. We've had some unique interview sessions with Gabe Burkich. I was wondering if you can kind of give us some more insight on what kind of person Gabe is, just his personality. What's he like away from the football field?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't like talking about people too much, but I'm only going to say good things. So I don't think he'll mind. But Gabe, I love him. We're good friends. Super nice guy, super fun to be around. And I noticed with kickers, there's kind of like, I guess with punters too, you can either be like super some guys are super serious and they're really mechanical about everything, and there's some guys who they also work on their craft hard, but they're kind of more just laid back. And Gabe is the type of guy where you want him when the game's on the line. You want him because he just knows how to get after it regardless, and he just has fun. You can tell when kickers or punters are having fun and are really good at what they do. So he's a super cool guy.
Just a quick follow-up, just his ability to knock in 50-yarders. I mean, what about his talent? And just being a kicker and just having that mentality, go out there and make those long kicks.
Yeah, I think I noticed that in the weight room too, because I know some kickers and punters don't like to lift that much, or I think we we realized that as long as you stay flexible, it helps to be strong. And he's really strong. Like split squats a lot, and so I think he just has a lot of God-given talent, and he works really hard. So put those two together, that's how you're able to hit. I seen him hit like a 67-yarder in practice pretty easy. So he's got a leg.
Thanks so much. Good luck this week, okay? Appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
Mm-hmm.
James Hill.
Michael, I'm curious what you thought about the last game. I thought you had a big impact in that game, flipping the field, and for a while we didn't see you out there. Now you're being used a lot, and that's really helping the team. And talk about that your development within this program, because the last game, I thought you had a big impact in the game.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Coach D's been super helpful, or I guess we just say Coach D. He's been super helpful, just like allowing me to be myself, and also I know I could do a lot better too. So Lord willing, I can just continue to improve. And I think being able to translate what I do in practice to a game. I think sometimes in games you could be a little bit too hyped up or whatever, and I'm swiping at the ball as opposed to staying short and just getting up and through it. So hopefully, Lord willing, I could showcase more of the hang time throughout the season and get after it. But anytime I have an opportunity, I try to make the most of it. And if I'm not punting, that's fine with me too. I'm just happy to be on a team that we're doing well. So hopefully I can just improve as the season goes on too.
This is maybe the best special teams unit in the country. I mean, Gabe's off to the start. Spencer has already been honored as a holder. Keller as a snapper. Reeves has punted for 2 years before you came in. Talk about the motivation and how iron sharpens iron. I would guess in your room you guys are pushing each other all the time.
Yeah, for sure. It's helpful to be around guys who perform at a high level. And Casey, I mean, as y'all know, he's one of, if not the best snapper in the country. And I was good friends with my snapper at ASU too, so he's really good. But Casey, same thing. Like his missed snaps are like an inch to my left of my right hip, so his snaps are all perfect. So it's really helpful to be around those guys. And we don't really try to think too much about the accolades or what we did last game, because it's just one kick at a time. And we know that you'll never have a perfect game, so to speak. So we just try to improve and forget about what happened and just go on to the next kick every time.
Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Turnover.
Hey, Michael, wondering, since this is our first time to talk to you, if you can maybe shed a little light on your college football journey so far, and specifically the circumstances that went into your transfer.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've had an interesting college career for sure, and most people don't know. I didn't punt in high school, so I had to take a gap year originally, where my uncle and my brother really been a blessing helping me learn how to punt, and I took a gap year with Ben in Dallas, and he punted at Notre Dame, so he helped me a lot. And I got a scholarship offer to Lafayette College just off a YouTube film of me punting, and then had a good year there, transferred to ASU, and obviously that was a blessing, had a great time there. And then now, since I was a graduate, I had a grad transfer available, and just some things that I decided to transfer, just with nothing terrible, but an opportunity arose here at Oklahoma. And as we talked about, once I was in the transfer portal to be a grad transfer, it was a no-brainer to come here. So, and I technically still have 2 years of eligibility left because the COVID year didn't count. So I'm happy I'm here for these last 2 years of eligibility.
Yeah, that's awesome that you get 2 years out of the deal. COVID produces a little bit of benefit, I guess, for some players, right? But did the whole vaccination thing get blown out of proportion?
I mean, I'm sure y'all can look online and everyone has their own view on this, but yeah, that was their protocol at ASU, and it was in my judgment just to enter the transfer portal after that, and thankfully a spot rose here, like I said, at OU. So it is what it is. I'm thankful everything worked out, and what you said too, how COVID has helped people get some years of eligibility back. One of my favorite Bible verses, Romans 8:28, says, "And we know that all things work together for the good to those who love the Lord, to those who are called according to His purpose." So I mean, that's just how I live my life. Like, no matter what happens, I know it's going to turn for my good. I just got to keep the faith and work hard. And so I'm glad after it's all said and done, I'm here at OU.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Avery, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah. Michael, I wanted to ask you about something you said early in that answer. Why didn't you punt in high school, especially given your family's background?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I wanted to play football, and of course punter counts as football, but I wanted to hit people and try. So I played safety. I played a lot of sports growing up, and thankfully was blessed with just being athletic. And then in high school, I had 3 ACL surgeries though, so I actually didn't really get to play at all in high school. Like it was a big doozy. I didn't obviously get to play that much with those injuries, but towards the end of my senior year, I was like, man, I still want to play college football, but I have no film of me playing safety really, and how am I going to do this? So I was like, well, my uncle punted in the NFL for 19 years. My brother punted at Notre Dame. Maybe I can give it a try. And that's when my brother offered for me to live with him for a gap year. And so every day I punted. Like some punting coaches would probably say too much, but sometimes I'd punt with my brother in the morning and then Uber back to the field and punt again for hours on end. And I started to love it. And it was a grind because at first I couldn't really, be very consistent or didn't have a big leg. But the more I worked at it, the more I thought there was a future in it, and I just kept getting after it.
So did it, you touched on this a little bit right there, did it come to you pretty naturally, or did it take a while before things started?
Yeah, a little bit natural. I was like, I punted because after my 3rd ACL surgery, I had to all I did was watch film and do drops. I couldn't even kick till like 6 months after the surgery. And so when I went out, it was obviously a struggle, and I don't think other people around me saw that it was going to lead to much, but I didn't care. I was determined to do it, and there was obviously a natural ability there, but it was a lot of just work. Honestly, sometimes I'd pass till I punted till I passed out, and I just loved it though, because I think with punting and kicking, you can or in long snapping, because my other uncle was a long snapper in the NFL for a long time. It's kind of a craft where you can work on by yourself, and so it's just up to you. If you have the initial frame and God-given ability, it's up to you how much you need to work to get it out of you. So I just love that aspect of it and kept doing it.
I appreciate it, Michael. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, last one from Mike. We'll go back to Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Michael, I just wanted to follow up on the ACL thing. Was that in your punting leg that you had those ACL tears?
I had 2 on my left, 1 on my right, but
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. I was going to say, but like I said before, that verse that I quoted, Romans 8:28, it was definitely humbling, but I don't think I would have the mindset and work ethic and what it really takes to be a good punter or a good athlete in general, or a good, I guess you could say, character, if that didn't happen. So it turned out for my good, and thank God my knees never hurt. Like I do in the offseason, I do all the running back, like the kickers and punters still have to work out and do all the stuff with the running backs and other position groups. So thankfully it never hurts now, and I think it made me better.
If depth got bad enough, could you play safety here?
I think I could. I was actually talking to Coach about going on kickoff too, because he gets me pretty fired up in those meetings. So maybe you'll see me next game out on kickoff in 1 rep of safety.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Michael, thanks.
Thank y'all.